It's just video games, man. It's just video games. People keep saying that, and I don't like it. It's just obvious propaganda. Get some. God, where am I? There we go. Let's get to Gagaruga Village for a while once again. It's a good place to be in, you know. Oh man. Oh man. It's just ridiculous in general. I feel like I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. As usual. Even if people keep saying stupid stuff, you can at least feel a little bit vindicated, if anything. So, I guess there's always that silver lining, perhaps. Okay, let me bring up my browser here. Wait, what is this? Oh, I see. Yeah, not a big deal. Ah, man. Let's start with something stupid. Why not? Everything is stupid nowadays. Do you guys like streamers? Well, I guess a lot of people do nowadays. Not all of the streamers are created equally. Absolutely not. And once again, I guess my better judgment, reading about Pokemon, I don't like this woman. What can you say? Pokemon claims streaming is more male-dominated with rise of Kaizenat and iShow speed. Which is something extremely stupid to say, because streaming has always been male-dominated in general. So, yeah, she's not really saying anything here. Pokemon is still the most followed and famous streamer on Twitch. Most followed. How's that CCV going? Has seen that the streaming world has become increasingly male-dominated in the past couple of years, pointing to the success of Kaizenat and iShow Speed. Well, they appeal to giga-normie audiences too. I think that helps a lot. Kaizenat has quickly risen from a popular but niche streamer in 2021 to benefited superstar, striking out deals with McDonald's and featuring A-list celebrities on his Twitch channel. Constantly, by the way. Also, when they say niche, I think they mean small, which fair, but I don't think he's counted this niche. Maybe it was before, I don't think so. iShow Speed is arguably the most popular streamer globally right now, traveling the world and attracting massive crowds in every city he visits. He also has, maybe not on a stream because I'm not quite sure about that, but he has communications, let's say, with celebrities, so that also helps. Also, once again, giga normie audience, so I think that's normal. On the Colin and Samir podcast, Pokemon was asked about the rise of Kai and the Speed, and explained that while she loves their content and everything they do, I just don't believe you, but she has to say that. She believes their success is indicative of the increasingly male-dominated demographic of viewers. How do I tell you this, woman? That has always been the case. That has been the case for, what, 15 years? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Not just I think Kai and Speed are incredible, and what they do is incredible. Yeah, she keeps saying incredible, I don't think it's true. Also, when I think of them, I think of how much the audience has changed over the years as well. They're both like two young dudes with like crazy wild things. Stop saying like, we don't like that. And just from a data and analytics perspective, I find it really interesting to see who are the top streamers, the similarities, their differences, especially in terms of audiences. And unfortunately, there aren't many huge female streamers, at least not on Kai and Speed's level. You had to lie to me. You had to be lying to me right now. And this is obviously Gigacope. We all know that. Wasn't Iron Mouse going toe-to-toe with Kaizenat on subs on Twitch? Just to give an easy example. Because I'm pretty sure Pokemon is just on Twitch. So... yeah, I know. I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm pretty sure Iron Mouse is woman, okay? There is a female. I know, imagine that. And obviously if you count YouTube and just streaming in general, you have a bunch of tubers that are extremely successful. I'm just saying, I don't know, Whole Life, it's the best example. This show is not small anyway. I'm just saying, Nimi Nightmare, she's getting a lot of viewers. I think that makes sense. They're still humans, okay? It's just Gigacope. The age of the woman is over. The problem with Twitch... Surely that's the problem. Pokemon went on to explain that this was a big shift from the Among Us eras for streaming. You cannot be real with this. You cannot say this with a straight face and expect me to just take it. Do you think this is good? No. I'm pretty sure this worked because this was Giga Normie. Pokemon says streaming is male dominated again. See? Again. Nowadays the audience, like, in a way, go more to being a lot of, like, younger dudes. That has always been the audience. Which is amazing, but I remember during 2020, I felt a much larger female presence. Both in the audience and in regards to the streamers we were seeing growing and becoming more popular. That was COVID. That was COVID. That was something specific to COVID, because everyone was home. You cannot be real with me, woman. Do you really believe I forgot? Because I didn't. But you see, the topic can also a lot of the time reflect the viewers, the streamer said. Yeah, obviously. I don't think the network speeds viewers are necessarily good. I asked by Colin if she believes the internet in general is more male dominated now. She said, a streamer certainly is. Internet has traditionally been male dominated because it's been traditionally nerd-centric. Most nerds are guys. Imagine that. Obviously everything is shifting, right? But obviously, Giga Normies also like guys. Imagine. Also, and maybe it's not just because they're Giga Normies. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Fuck explain. The streaming landscape, let's say 7 years ago, very male dominated, was the most even during 2020, and since then, it's gone back to being more male dominated. It was because of fucking COVID, woman. It was something unique, something extremely specific, because there was nothing else to do than going on the internet. And this is because of Kindness Speed's popularity, or that they have just benefited from change. Pokemon didn't say. I bet she doesn't know. Or she doesn't want to say, at least. In top 20 most followed streamers on Twitch, Pokemon is the only woman. Okay, cool, now do YouTube. Do YouTube, let's see what happens. And most followed? Cool, how about that CCV? In 2024, no female streamer was in the top 40 most watched channels on Twitch, with our mouse the highest at 44th overall. 3 female streamers, Armas, Mira and Emery, made the top 100 most watched channels in 2024, as soon known. So, you're telling me your metrics are skewed and they don't work, because you're just using most followed. But even then, Pokimane is not getting enough watch time, because she's below Armas, she's below Mira, and she's below Emiru. Well, Sucks to suck, get good. However, in 2020 and 2021, only one female streamer made it up 100 most watched each year on Twitch. In 2020, Pokemon was 63rd most watched overall. In 2021, Amaranth was the only woman in the top 100 at 42nd. Also, what does she do again as content? I don't even know. Isn't she just React as Lab and not even that good? Didn't she have a fight many years ago with PewDiePie? Can we copy strike PewDiePie? Maybe it was not her, but all these figures look the same to me. What can you say? They all look the same to me. Ugh. So, yeah. Yeah, cool. Cool. Also, I have to say, not a big fan of KSNet or I Show Speed. Doesn't matter how many times you say it, I don't like them. Also, do you guys remember I Show Mint? That was something that happened. Just make content. If it's good, people will come, potentially. My goodness. Speaking of women being silly, this is gonna be massive, strange segue. For New York Post, liberal women are far more likely to feel lonely often. Ball shows. February 14th. Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder why. Liberal women are less likely to report being fully satisfied with their lives, therefore more likely to report feeling lonely often, according to analysis from a recently published poll. Yeah, it makes sense. In 2024 American Family Survey reportedly found that 37% of conservative women and 28% of moderate women between the ages of 18 and 40 reported being completely satisfied with their lives, but just 12% of liberal women in the same age group said the same. Yes, brain rot. It's always going to happen. Because they're too worried about a lot of shit that doesn't matter. Imagine. Liberal women were also nearly 3 times more likely than conservative women to say they experience loneliness at least a few times a week. It might be too harsh, but they're also more likely to be insufferable. I think there's a correlation there. Brad Wilkes, a sociology professor at the University of Virginia and fellow at the Institute for Family Studies, who analyzed the survey's data, said he believes there are a couple of reasons why conservative young women are more likely to be happier than their liberal counterparts. I'm a little bit curious here. They might say something normal, or they might say something completely stupid, who knows? They say in the research that conservative women tend to be more likely to embrace a sense of agency, and they had the sense that they are not, in any way, the victim of larger structural realities or forces. He told Fox News Digital. Okay, he's not wrong, but he makes a fatal mistake. Victim of larger structural realities. It's not even true, it's not even real. You have to be fucking kidding me right now. They really think it's the current year. It's current year. Do you really believe women are being oppressed in the West? There's no way. They're also less likely to catastrophize about public events and concerns, and more likely to think of themselves as captains of their own fate, Wilcox added. Not entirely wrong either. Not entirely wrong either, stop. Wilcox also broke down the poll by the relationship status of women surveyed. According to the analysis, 40% of liberal women reported being single, while 31% said they were married. That's higher than expected for marriage. For conservative women, 33% reported being single, and 51% were married. Okay, they mention it here. The remaining women on both sides of the political aisle reported being in a committed relationship or cohabiting with a partner. Okay, that makes sense. So, as you can see, more likely to be single, less likely to be married. Well, I wonder why. Focus told that function is digital, that marriage and family are an enormous source of meaning and purpose for most people. True. It's just not surprising that conservative women are more likely to be married, but also feel more satisfied with their lives in general. Okay, now tell me, why are they more likely to be married again? That's so obvious, but still. Conservative women are also more likely to embrace the gender differences between men and women, and prioritize family and attending religious services, he said, which also contributes to happiness. What a strange thing to say. I don't think he's necessarily wrong, but the wording is also specific, right? Embrace the gender differences between men and women. Some people will say they are not going against nature or against their desires. And that's not me saying that. How many times have you seen, maybe not in real life, but it's a really common trope, the girl boss, working woman, trying to be successful and not caring about anything, and then she has a kid, and she's like, oh, but I don't want to go back to work. I want to take care of my kid. And you know what? That makes sense from a biological standpoint. Obviously, it's a biological advantage. Wanted to take care of the kid. Right? Speaking of homeless service, an annual nationwide survey of 3,000 Americans. The 2024 poll was released in early February 2025 and conducted in August from 22nd to 29th, 2024 by YouGov. I hope not. For Desert News and the Center for the Study of Elections and Democracy at Brigham Young University. I wonder why. Which this comes to show that women are so easy to manipulate for political gain and whatnot, which is sad. I guess it keeps happening. But at the same time, if it didn't work, they wouldn't do it. So there's also that. I'm looking at the stuff here, okay. Cool. Cool. So, yeah. And it's not only women nowadays, that's probably the worst. Surely people just want to do, just doing what they want to do, right? Well, absolutely not. It's a shame, but absolutely not. A lot of people have been entrapped with having the correct opinions all the time. I don't care about the correct opinions, I care about my opinions, and then wrong opinions. Because obviously, my opinions are always correct, right? Perhaps we're not that different after all. Obviously, I'm joking here. Okay? But let's get slowly but surely into video games, okay? This is going to be just a impossible segue, so let's move on. And here from 8th level. Nintendo gets a new patent to fight against Pal World, more likely coming. Just like me, at the same time, you had to say, I don't think it's going to work, even if they manage to file all of these patents. Let's get into it. We need your consent. A current here, I suppose. Nintendo keeps fighting against Pal World in the legal field. It has new ammunition in the form of a new patent. If you missed it, Nintendo couldn't find a way to sue Pal World makers for a while, but then decided to bombard them with patents, registered later than the game came out. Only in the US, only globally, they filed those before the game released in Japan. Both were Japanese companies, so it works. They were filed after the announcement of the game, so I don't know how that works really, but it is a little bit too convenient for them, I feel. Standing in front of the Tokyo District Court to blame Pocket Bear for patent infringement. Looks like Nintendo went on a rampage globally, as there is a new patent for Pocket Bear to answer to. The United States Patent and Trademark Office published the patent number 12,220,638. I know my numbers. On February 11th, it describes a creature capturing system which Nintendo has accused Pocket Bear of stealing before. But this time, it doesn't distinguish between a screen framing a Pokeball-like device and for capturing a creature as reported by Game Rant. There's a massive problem with this. And it's the patents published now, literally this week. The game released a year ago. I don't think this patent should have a retroactive power. So, you know. The new document replaces the phrase "full character" with "fearful character," and the use of the two models might give Nintendo more room for movement. In December 2024, the USPTO related to Nintendo's patent application number 18/652,883 on 32 out of 33 claims. That's a lot to be rejected. The remaining describing the mechanics of switching mounts on the fly, while the player character is riding them. I don't think this is new. I don't think Nintendo came up with this. Isn't that being a case with... Jeez, I don't know. All the fucking MMOs? The USPTO said that it would be allowed if submitted independently. In February 2025, Nintendo's attorney requested to talk with the patent examiner to investigate this case and attempt to get more of its claims granted. We should expect more Nintendo patents to be thrown Palworld's way. The company's notorious for suing everyone and everything, so Pocket Bear should get ready to spend a lot of time in court. Yes. Yes, and this is really disgusting. Because, sure. The old patents, sure. They were filed in Japan before Palworld released. It was all in Japan, but since both companies are Japanese companies, it makes sense. This is just pure warfare. I don't like it. It's pure legal warfare. They made the game before Nintendo had a proper patent for this. And you want to punish them for that? I don't think so. What, are you going to punish? I don't know. If it's mounts... I don't know if that's the case, but World of Warcraft? That would make sense. I don't think so. That wouldn't make any sense to me. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. I want to like Nintendo, but they do shit like this. You only be wondering, what's wrong with your brain? Well, they just want the money. They also know, even though Palworld is a really different game, that Palworld is really good, it's really successful. And of course they want a piece of the pie, as they say. So... Disgusting still. I don't like that. But there's nothing you can do about it. You can only hope the court is actually reasonable. And we don't know if it's gonna be. We can only hope. Speaking of strange happenings in gaming, we also have this one, which apparently it's not even new. But everyone's talking about this. Steam games that force players to watch advertisements are banned, Valve emphasizes. Apparently this is from summer last year. Apparently. But made the news now. Valve has emphasized its rules around advertising, explicitly prohibiting games that force players to watch in-game ads. Okay, I'm gonna save it for the end then, just in case. The newly re-emphasized rules from Valve. Okay, newly re-emphasized, not new rules. First report on the gaming Linux. Linux tech tips, not quite the same, right? Confirmed that while cross-promotion and product placement are permitted, games that force players to watch or engage with advertising in order to play are not. Update. The previous version of this article reflected the source report. These rules were all new, being it facts, not in fact, it facts. Valve has now re-emphasized the rules by creating a new section with its terms. Yeah. Fair update. If developers use advertising as a way to provide value to players, such as giving players a reward for watching or engaging with advertising in the game. Okay, I'm gonna mention it now then. Screw it, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. People are saying, oh, my phone games, oh, my gacha games. And sure, some gacha games do that. I've been playing a little bit of Valkyrie Connect again. I go back from time to time. And sure, they have some sort of ad pool, free pool, something like that. I think it's fine. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think that has been in the music lines for a long time though. I don't know if it works. However, what about the Street Fighter? Wasn't the Street Fighter 5 that was adding force ads while you were playing the game? Like in the background and whatnot? Is that covered within the rules? I don't know. They should. That's really scary. That's really predatory. This is not Futurama, okay? Not yet. Developers shouldn't utilize paid advertising as a business model in their game, such as requiring players to watch or otherwise engage with advertising in order to play, or getting gameplay behind advertising, the rules explain. Fair, I guess the Street Fighter thing is not gonna be covered with this, sadly. Your game's business model relies on advertising on other platforms. You will need to remove those elements before shipping on Steam. Some options you could consider include switching to a single purchase paid app, making your game free to play with optional upgrades, will be microtransactions or DLC. Is that any better? I don't know. I don't like that either. I suspect most of us would associate with this kind of behavior with mobile games more than those available on your Steam, and some of them are available on your Steam, to be fair. All clearly thought it necessary to clarify, in clear English, what is and is not supported on your Steam. And I think it's fine. Having clear rules, always good. I'm not complaining about that, absolutely not. Developers are also not allowed to charge other developers for access to Steam features, such as sale pages, bundles, storefronts, or franchise pages. You know what, that's good. That's good. And you have to admit that at least they're coming in directly. They're telling you what's going on. I think this is fine. I think this is fair. You're going to mention something here? Take a look at the comments. I think the only entity that'll be upset by this is EA. You have no sympathy for them at all. Do they even have in-game advertisements? God, that's disgusting. Up to the point, there have been rumblings of AAA publishers considering mandatory ads, particularly for sports games. This guy knows. I'm pleased to see Valve getting ahead of the curve on this one. Yeah. As much as I wish they didn't have as much of a monopoly as they do in the PC space, they do tend to do the right thing and stuff like this, more often than not. Sales of crypto/NFT games. Yeah, and they have the monopoly because they're good. Are you willing to sell your ass to Epic Games? I don't think so. And to be fair, you also have, what, GOG to some extent? You also had, what's another storefront? I don't remember the name. It's not too bad either, I don't think. I might be wrong with that one. But Steam just works, you know? So, of course people are going to flock to Steam. But yeah, I think this is good. And obviously they're not going to tag DLC and microtransactions, not only because they get the cut from those, which makes sense, But because they're not evil in nature, they're just used for evil, which is not the same. You have some DLCs, right? We've seen everything. Some stuff is just too expensive or pretty much nothing for a lot of money, and some people buy it. Some stuff in all the games was just unlockables in the game, or was just literally in the game, and now it's just DLC, which is really disgusting. Like with the Yakuza games, now you have to pay more. You have to buy everything, because you need to pay as... how much was it? $100? I don't remember. If you want New Game Plus, or if you want additional costumes, don't you want them? You know what? No. I don't like it. Why is that so much of a problem nowadays? I don't get it. But you know what? This thing was not that bad back in the day. You bought a game, and you got the game. If the game was broken, that happened sometimes, but yeah, it wasn't as common. And I usually give an example, right? That being sacred. They released Sacred for what? $20? I think or $20. It was not that expensive. It was a pretty decent game. And they released the expansion. It was not DLC, it was expansions back then. Otherworld, which added 2 additional characters and like a lot of map. How much was it? It was like 50% more or something like that. And that expansion you could get for free. Literally for free. Nowadays you have Sacred Gold, which has everything, right? And it's like $10. Yeah? And it just works. It is that easy. Just to give an example. Also, how many times you could get, sometimes, full games from magazines? They were usually demos, right? But sometimes you could get full-blown games. That's cool. Nowadays, now you have to pay more for the game to be somewhat finished. So as. That's why 14% of North Americans still play gaming systems released before 2000. The year 2000, I mean, obviously. Newspaper reveals Retro is alive and well. Yeah, not only North Americans. It's me, the guy that's playing Ocarina of Time. We know that retro gaming is big business, but there are so many ways to play old school games these days. It can be effective classic gaming and not on original hardware. Because it's really expensive, sadly. And if it breaks, getting spare parts or someone to fix it, really not gonna happen. Unless you're in Japan, I think. Just like the Switch and PS5, you give access to titles digitally. PS5 having games? I don't think that's true. You also get systems like Evercade keeping vintage games alive. However, a new survey by Consumer Reports reveals that classic hardware is still alive and well in the world. The study shows that millions of people still actively use their old machines, despite the fact that they've been considered defunct for decades. If it's not broken, you can still play it. Potentially, it might depend on your TV. But you can potentially still play it. I remember fucking around with the PS1 with some friends, and we also played the Wii by that point in time, and the Wii was not even new by that point in time either, you know? So there's that. It was not that old. It was, what, 3 years old? The game still exists, so new game existing doesn't take away from old game also existing. So there's that. Impressive 14% of North Americans are still gaming on platforms released before the year 2000. This will include consoles such as the NES, SNES, Game Boy, Genesis, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, PS1, and more. Not much more, to be fair. That's probably the big ones. Game Boy Color, I suppose. Just barely. Maybe not. Was that before 2000? I don't remember. Had to be, right? I think so? Yeah, I think so. At least in Japan. They also found that 15% of Americans have listened to music on cassette tape in the past year, and the same percentage have watched the movie in VHS. These movies, however, only account for 3%. Meanwhile, impressive 11% of American households still use a fax machine. And they're still useful. They still have in case use, so you know. It's actually really impressive that they're still using their old systems. 14% is no small number for the systems, actually. So that's actually kind of cool. I have to admit that cassette tape in VHS, absolutely not. I don't have anything to play those. Also, I don't think you have anything good on those anymore. So there's that. But yeah, it shows that people still like old games because old games are still good. It doesn't matter that they don't have the best graphics. At the end of the day, people don't really care that much about the graphics, despite the allegations. So there's that. Okay, so hold on, let me. I see. Okay. Take a sip here, real fast. Just enjoy my mouth really fast. So let's get into the main topic for today. It's just video games. It's just video games. Let me stop the music for a second here, because I have a short clip to watch first of all. This is a clip from Asmongold that has been making the rounds this past, week, give or take. Asmongold hits the nail on the head of woke journalists. I want these people to suffer, because that's what they did to me. What goes around comes around. And we're coming. You should have just left my video games alone. I hope this is loud enough.
Look right here, and I'll show you. Like, people think I'm fucking crazy. I'm not. Look at this.
I'm looking.
People wonder are tax dollars used to promote wokeness in video games? Answer is yes. USAID paid Politico millions of dollars a year to write pieces like this one, which promotes diversity and describes Gamergate as disinformation and harassment campaign.
Not necessarily true. We saw that here too, and sure, Politico was paid. Sure, Politico wrote those. Were they paid to write those? We don't know. Officially, it was just subscriptions. Is it really possible that they were paid to do that? Sure. But we don't have a confirmation, it's speculative.
So, this is the thing, guys. I want these people to suffer.
Yes?
Because that's what they did to me. I want to set an example. Get rid of these people. Put them, like, completely out of their jobs. Get rid of them. Make an example of them. Say, listen, this is what happens. Gamers rise up. What goes around? Yep, what goes around comes around. And we're coming. Look right here.
We're coming. Stop it. I'm a bit too much for some sites. And of course, some people don't like that. Of course, some people are throwing a fit about it. Because, oh my god, how dare you say something like that? Well, he says something like that because it's true and it's fair. I don't care if you just like Asmongold, that's fine. But hitting a guy to always be on the other side of his position, yeah, that's going to completely destroy you at some point. You have this guy, absolute buffoon. You guys are generally so fucking pathetic. It's quite literally just video games. And obviously this guy doesn't care about games. This guy doesn't like video games. This guy is a fucking propagandist. And it's really obvious. It's just video games. Why do you care? It's just video games. I like video games, so of course, I care about video games. And I really care if you're going to use thing I like for your stupid ass communist propaganda. How is that so difficult to understand? It shouldn't be, but they're pushing against it because they like the propaganda. Like, yeah, just to care about your hobbies and advocate for things to not get censored or disrespected by suits. You don't give a fuck about the hobby, but celebrating people losing their jobs and pulling the "you should have left us gamers alone" shit is so embarrassing, man. And this guy is trying to look normal, but it's obvious where he's coming from. You should care about your hobbies, yes, and advocate for things to not get censored, true, or disrespected, true. By suits? Why only by suits? I don't like it when they get disrespected by fucking game journalists either. Why should I? It's literally the same. They don't give a fuck about the hobby. I don't think game journalists give a fuck about games anyway. What's the difference? Celebrating people losing their jobs. Yes, because they don't deserve to have those jobs, because they are trash at those jobs. It shouldn't be this difficult to understand, but for some reason, it is. And they will go, it's just video games, it's just video games. No, I'm sick and tired of gamers being completely cocked. Just video games, just take it. Just take the bare minimum, and sometimes gamers take something that's not even the bare minimum. Sometimes they take pure ass, pure trash. But since it's just video games, you have to take it. No, fuck you. I'm sick and tired of this. And then you have an article like this one, and it's just pure insanity. USAID official disinformation primer says, gaming sites are one of many alternative spaces from which problematic information more regularly originates. Why? Because we don't follow your fucking propaganda machine? Well, I guess so. I'm gonna be problematic. Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. With the recent shuffle occurring around the United States Agency for International Development, they give the full name here. A deeper look into the work has revealed that the organization's central disinformation primer is the gaming scientists' notable sources of potential disinformation. Potential disinformation? Stop it. You're not Lara Fink. You're not Klaus Schwab. Stop it. And apparently, I'm not quite sure about that. I'm taking out my slippers here, okay? Please understand, I'm getting passionate now. Apparently, there are connections between USAID and George Soros of all people. So, if you thought that George Soros was fucking with Gamergate, there's a plausible connection, which is really, really interesting. Discovering the math part of the current news cycle, shortly after being sworn in for his second term in January 20th, US President Donald Trump issued an executive order declaring that from this day forward, the foreign policy of the United States shall champion core American interests and always put America and American citizens first. How is this bad? I don't know. People are complaining about this. Also, I've seen people being like, okay, but isn't it curious that all of these supposedly corrupt entities are being investigated by Elon Musk, and these entities are also investigating Elon Musk? Isn't that too convenient? And sure, there might be a conflict of interest. That's fair, that makes sense. But I don't believe it, because literally no one said this is not happening. Literally no one said what Elon Musk is saying is a lie. What they're saying is, shut up, Elon Musk. Shut up, we're going to sue you. You're a Nazi. Well, I don't know, they're just attacking the guy, so... you know what I'm saying here, right? They're not even trying to feign ignorance. They know they got caught, and they're just trying to take down the guy. And if you don't like Elon Musk, sure, that's fair. But you still have to be fair. I don't think he's lying, and if he's lying, that's bad too, okay? From there, the weekend of February 1st, so employees from the Department of Government Efficiency, under boss Elon Musk, who is now seemingly the sole head of the department following Vivek Lama Dindang, sudden exit, set their sights on USAID, began guarding the entirety of its operation. It's less than 1% of the budget. It's only gonna get worse from here on. The day since this development, more and more scrutiny has been placed on USAID's past work history, with many individuals taking the opportunity to scour the organization's publicly released writings, in search of anything that may shed light on whether or not I was reading, okay. Whether, hold up. What do you mean by this? Whether or not, obviously. The funds were truly being mismanaged. I think that's clearly the case. Maybe not mismanaged, because obviously what they were doing was on purpose, but it's bad. Okay, it's bad. It's a really bad use of taxpayer money. It was a result of this newfound attention that the group's official disinformation primer was brought to the public light. In 2021, through a collaboration between USAID's Joshua McLeod and Shannon Maguire, and the National Opinion Research Center, and the University of Chicago's Susan about 3 Bs, is that correct? Ray Hanley and Luis Camacho. President Camacho? Finally. I had to see that movie. I never seen it. The premise serves to help USAID staff and partners to understand the basic of disinformation, how it is spread, why it is spread, and how programming can help reduce its damaging impact on societies around the world. Surely that's not dystopian. What do you mean programming? Jesus Christ. Just believe us, we are from the government. Absolutely not. Especially from the American government. Today's digital communications and media landscape is complex. It has given rise to a new set of challenges and considerations for democracy support. Read from its opening paragraphs. Across all USAID programming countries, this requires a solid understanding of disinformation and robust approaches for countering and preventing it. It's so strange. Just the wording is so strange. Democracy support? That's not even a video game, man. My goodness. To this end, following a very basic recap of the different types of mis/disinformation, such as claims made with false context or as overt propaganda, such projection, and their uses by local and foreign agitators, the team then proceeds to provide a closer look at their methods of spread, the social factors that make them work, and the anticipated challenges one may encounter in trying to combat them. And gamers are just supposed to take it. This is not about gamers, but this is also about games. So, you're probably going to get more into that here, I guess. One such challenge presented by the primer is understanding alternative media spaces, as the document asserts that although discussions on disinformation and misinformation often revolve around assumptions of state actors during the issue, in actuality, problematic information more regularly originates from networks of alternate sites and anonymous individuals who have created their own alt-media online spaces, which include message boards and digital distribution platforms. Examples given: Reddit, 4chan, or Discord. Conspiracy news sites, RT, isn't that Russia Today? I think it's quite the same as, I don't know, Reddit? Also Reddit, really? They do have a lot of disinformation and misinformation, but they're from your side of the aisle, so I don't know what you're talking about. 21 yes, 21st Century Wire, I don't know what that is. And perhaps more curiously gaming sites. Hold up, hold up. Is this projection? Did you know that I was alive in 2020 and paying attention? Yeah, I was. Imagine that. All those theories about the coup and whatnot that ended up being completely true, but you would get completely banned from social media if you were to mention stuff about Ibaraki, like Joe Rogan, or the love leak theory. And with time, oh, lo and behold, there was not only truth to those, but they were just true, unlike the official stories. How curious. Well, information alternative systems such as conspiracy theories may seem vertical or preposterous to an outsider. They are giganormous and they don't understand. The users of these spaces enable them to collaborate and validate their own claims and interpretations of the world that differ from mainstream sources. Do you mean propaganda machine? Come on. How many journalism sites have we seen getting money from USAID? How curious. How curious. Also, at the same time, they will tell you this is just conspiracy theories. Well, no. We're just reading the official sources, but we're not eating the propaganda. So, you know, what's the difference here? Who is propagandized? I don't think it's me. With this, individuals contribute their own research to the larger discussion. How is that bad? How is that wrong? Collectively reviewing and validating each other to create a populist expertise that justifies, shapes, and supports their alternative beliefs. Just because it's not the official narrative, it's just so obvious. It's just so obvious! These discussions become larger. History institutions may pick up on the issue, but because they do not understand the platform or alternative media system more generally, they may unknowingly provide wide coverage of misleading information. I don't know about that, man. Curiously, despite providing specific examples of each type of alt-media space, like message boards or conspiracy news sites, the SID primarily did not do so when it came to the gaming site category. Funny. As such, it's enough the organization was referring to actual non-mainstream news outlets that cover video games like Niche Gamer or Violent into Comics, or video game community websites like the individual forums provided for each and every title hosted by Steam. And those are actually, well, not actually, but they can be heavily moderated. I've seen some that have been like, I don't know, maybe this game is not for me. That might get you banned. And that's the most neutral shit you could be saying. Meanwhile, in terms of what actions USAID recommends for its employees and associates in dealing with misinformation, the organization lists the following thing as a potential additions to one's metaphorical toolkit. Let's take a look. Conduct a disinformation diagnostic. Take a stock of the information environment in your country. Carry out actor mapping. This is the key. Stakeholders who contribute in positive and negative ways to the media and information ecosystem in your country. Support media literacy initiatives. God, is this Twitter? Come on now. Given the changing nature of mass media and news and information consumption habits, youth, as well as other segments of the population, benefit from opportunities to learn critical thinking skills and to acquire the knowledge to spot disinformation and other aspects of information disorder. I don't agree with the message, but it doesn't mean what they think it means. Media literacy. God fucking damn it. Now I understand all of those morons on Twitter. You need more media literacy, sweetie? No, I know how to read the source material. You're being propagandized, I guess potentially by the USAID? Who's the moron here? Don't answer that. It's not me, okay? It's not me. Find independent media and local public interest journalism. One of the best forms of resilience against myths and disinformation is journalism. Derogatory. So, if you have people not falling in line, pay more and get more journalists to propagate the propaganda. I guess that makes sense. Support media monitoring and fact-checking initiatives specifically. Ah yes, fact-checking. They never get anything wrong. You cannot fight disinformation with disinformation. You need to fight back with the truth and good reporting. I agree. Where's the good reporting on your part? I'm not talking about banding into comics. Absolutely not. Stay up to speed. Disinformation is a growing field and threats. And doesn't need to stay current on new research and tools for identifying disinformation trends and threats, and to stay abreast, don't mind if I do, of different disinformation narratives that could undermine USAID's work. Wow, they're being so obvious with the message. There's different narratives that could undermine USAID's work. My. Imagine that. The government wouldn't lie to you. The government is your friend. Just shut up and don't ask. Don't ask about those kids that were bombed by Obama, okay? Support internet governance and digital rights initiatives. Consider potential partnerships with digital security trainers, digital forensic investigators, digital literacy specialists, internet governance experts, and others who can work with your local USAID programs as part of democracy and governance programs. Government propaganda. Join it. Just join the Navy. Join the Navy. It's gonna be funny. You're not gonna be gay or anything. Why is that so common in the Navy? And being gay, I mean. I don't understand. That's a cliche for a reason, I suppose, but I don't know. Engage government. But think if I say that, I'm a danger to society. When it's possible, reach out to local government and national government officials to begin dialogue. If one is not already in place, about how USAID can partner in countering and preventing disinformation. Collaborate and engage with other international partners, civil society, media, social media platforms, internet governance forums, and other donors. Some of the best examples in countering and preventing disinformation involve collaborative approaches that include data scientists, social scientists, and journalists. It's really funny that they mentioned this, right? Collaborate and engage with other international partners. Wasn't Reddit being just the Fed honeypot? I remember reading something about that. Yeah, they're pretty much working with the government, and not for the betterment of society. Imagine. Oh, but the evil right-wingers on Reddit. What right-wingers on Reddit? They banned anything that's a little bit to the right of Mao. What do you mean? What do you mean by this? Just a propaganda machine. So obvious. And this is from 2021. It'd be interesting to see when the Donald Trump subreddit got banned. Because if the dates align, well, now we might have a theory why that's the case. Measure the impact of your efforts to counter and prevent disinformation. Because there are so many knowns in terms of what works and what does not in the field of countering disinformation, research and learning opportunities are important, and data collected should be shared with both USAID and its implementing partners. God, it's so disgusting. Uh, see? Seems like a lot of things we were blaming Soros for was actually USAID. The two are interconnected. I read people talking about that, but I didn't find any Soros, so there's that. But it's just video games, guys. It's just video games. Just take it. It's just video games. Well, it's not. They're clearly using video games for propaganda. Not only for propaganda, but they're attacking. They're literally attacking gamers here. And it's really funny. Because I do oppose this obsession with labels and whatnot. But it's literally happening. From the government. Are we a threat to society? Yes? Good. We should be. If society is so fucked that really talking about what's going on with games is a threat, you know, things are really shitty right now. Oh my god. But once again, you're supposed to just take it. Just take it, man. It's just video games. Well, sure, it's just video games, but I do care about video games because I like video games. That shouldn't be difficult to understand. But, once again, gamers, the most oppressed minority in society. Are we even a minority? I don't know. I'm gonna say yes. True gamers rise up. Go home, gamer girl. God, is this 2014? It could be. 2014 never ended, to be fair. But that's a different conversation. Well, maybe the game is kind of trash. But it's just video games, so it's fine. It's not fine. People are starting to get some pride, I guess. Maybe some guts, dare I say. And didn't want to take any more of this bullshit. That's what Asmongold was talking about here. They were going after my ass. Well, fuck them. We're going after their ass now. They deserve it. God. And it's gonna take time for shit to change, obviously. Because you have some people like, but Donald Trump is the president, everything is good now. Well, no, it's not. It's obviously not. How many bad games have been in development for, what, 8, perhaps 10 years? A bunch of them. So it's gonna take some time. Okay, what else do we have here? What is this? Speaking of games, this is pure insanity. The quadruple A. You have to buy games and they have to be $100 or even more, who knows? So in just a few weeks, these 5 USD in the game, while Digging a Hole has journeyed to the center of Steam's top sellers chart. A game about digging a hole is selling more copies than Dynasty Warriors Origins. It's literally about digging a hole. Finally, a video game about the male fantasy. Just dig a hole. I've seen not only guys playing this, to be fair. But look, it's a simple game, and it works. I think it's fine. It's really funny, it's really funny. This is just peak a streamer game, in my opinion. Many aspects of game development are variable and subjective. This is one interesting truth. Games take ages to make. Well, it depends. Some do, some doesn't, I guess. Some do, but they shouldn't, I suppose. The average turnaround for a big budget video game used to be 4 years, but lately has run to 5, maybe even 6 years, as games have ballooned in size. Not quality. Interesting. Budget and visual complexity. Budget? Sure. Maybe for the wrong reasons, but sure. And visual complexity. If that's the case, why do these new games look worse than games from 10 years ago? I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. They look worse. There's this weird obsession with not realistic graphics. No. They're just uncanny, they're just ugly. Style over realism. And sure, I do agree that some games do better than others with realistic graphics, right? Let's say Yakuza games. They look like dudes, they look like real people. But then let's say, I don't know, Super Mario. Newer games have really good graphics, but Mario still looks like Mario. I think it's fine. I think it's normal. I don't think that's a big deal. It's this weird obsession. And it's not just video games. How many times are we seeing, oh, they're releasing a live-action movie or series about insert fiction? Why? Why? One Piece? Doesn't make any sense. Yakuza? It could work, but I'd rather have an anime, not gonna lie. The looks, the voices, they are just too unique, I feel. What was the other thing that Sabbath released? How to Train Your Dragon? Why? Everything... This strange obsession of everything has to represent real life. Literally. Not just about talking demographics here. But literally real life. I don't like it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I was a little bit scared a couple of years ago when we played Dragon Quest XI, right? 3M style, it's rather unique. I was like, I don't know, 3D. I played the game and was like, okay, it's really good. It's pretty much what it should be. It's not trying to be something else, and that's fine. But god, that's why everything looks so fucking ugly nowadays. It has to look real. But why? I don't care about realism. I like the style. And I guess with lower graphics, you had to be more creative with the style. I don't know. 8-bit Mega Man? That's a really good example. Imagine Mega Man looking just like a dude. Yeah, that's some PTSD there. If for more indie projects, you're generally looking at 2 years is a minimum baseline. Imagine there are a few exhausted indie devs who would roll their pandas and that. Well, at the same time, if you're indie, you might be making an entire game on your own. So you have to learn a bunch of different skills. That's why I never made a big game on my own, actually. I wouldn't mind trying to make games, but... yeah, the graphic side, the music side, I have no idea. And that's not something I learn really fast. You can learn literally everything, but I don't know how I feel about that one. I would never be happy enough with the results. That's also a big problem. Hence, the idea of a developer making a game and launching a game in a matter of weeks must seem utterly absurd. Well, haven't you seen game jams and whatnot? Sure, it's not the same, but I've seen some of those games. Even though they're just fun games, they're really fun. Sure, they're short, but they're fun. And that's before you pondered the brain-exploding notion of it selling by the bucket load. And that's only what German studio Cyberwave has done with the release of a game about digging a hole. There's a better example of this, and that was... god, I'm so fucking old. Flappy Bird. That game was made just through a tutorial, and it sold a fuck ton. I remember people trying to sell phones that still had a Flappy Bird for 4 digits. Back in the day, it was a lot of money. Back in my day, that was a lot of money, okay? Inflation, man, not even once. As only hinted by his title, sadly, a game about digging a hole sees you carving a great big pit in your small back garden. Starting off with a trowel, you tunnel downward through the soil, collecting ores and other items as you go, before selling those resources on your computer to purchase more advanced digging tools, like a hand drill and dynamite. Is this the same studio that made Power Wash Simulator? Feels like it, from the graphics and whatnot. That's a dick. Anyway. Why am I like this? I think I want to say something else here. Oh yeah, we're going to China with this one. That's pretty much it, but this miniature adventure seems to have captured the imagination of players on Steam. Not only have they awarded the very positive rating with over 3,000 reviews, but they've also catapulted it into the platform's top sellers list, with the game about digging holes ranking Dynasty Warriors Origins at the time of writing. To be fair, it's only $5, so it's really easy to buy. Also, probably real low requirements in comparison to newer games. How was this miracle achieved? Well, Agada! I'm not sure if that's better or worse than writing out the entire name. Fair. Worst of the time, a Server Waves artist, known by the community simple as Bang. Bang's full-time job is working on the survival game Solarpunk. According to Agada's first Steam update, he took a holiday and spent the bulk of it making the new game. Instead of taking a break, he created this game entirely in his spare time, in just 14 days. Sometimes, you can take a break by working on different stuff. That might be bad on the long run sometimes. You need to take actual breaks too. The game was built using some existing voxel trading technology, originally designed for Solarpunk, but subsequently discarded. Bang is apparently a big fan of the game Motherload, picked up the tech and decided to make a digging game with it, featuring randomly spawning ores and upgradable shovels. Game about shovels, it's not the first one. So it began. Less assets, no longer prototyping phases, and a fully functional game emerged in record time. Cyberwave writes, game about digging a hole was formally announced in December last year, quickly gaining over 100,000 wish lists. It appeals to the male fantasy, that makes sense. Big booba, no, digging holes. Just dig a hole. Then, according to the post by Bang on the game's official Twitter account, after 3 weeks of hard work, he felt ready to announce a release date of February 12th. Cyberwave hasn't revealed the precise number of copies sold, but given the amounts of reviews where it rests on the Steam charts, and how quickly it's gained traction, we can safely assume it's quite a few. Once again, it's only $5. And look, you can make a game really fast, sell it for cheap, and people will buy it! Because the game looks fun. It's just about digging a fucking hole, but it works. Just pure magic. Yo, hey, how you doing, Matt? We're reading news today. I need to blow my nose. It's getting really stuffy. I'm gonna miss for a second here. Oh man, I don't know what's going on today. It's really sniffly, I don't know why. Will you buy a Switch 2? I don't think so. I didn't even buy a Switch 1. And to be fair, you have a lot of people too being perhaps a little bit too hyped about Switch 2. And some people being too critical of Switch 2. And I think I'm a little bit in the middle. It's just an okay upgrade. I just only hope that the new games are actually good and work properly, because let's be real, the Pokemon games, fucking disaster. It's not the Switch fault, okay? It's not the console's fault, absolutely not. Not only Game Freak making good games, it's been a while. Some people are saying, oh, this is going to flop because look at what happened with the Wii U. I'm like, okay, but Wii U didn't have good games anyway. The new Pokemon game, fucking tournament doesn't count. And new Zelda game, they had a couple of remasters, but I don't know. I'm thinking about it 24/7, you have a problem. Then tell me. I'll be able to find the solution here. Honestly, I'd say that waiting is probably the best here. And see if they actually have good stuff. After all, what's the big deal with a new console if they don't have games? Right, PS5? Just to give an example. Ah man, I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty today. I don't think I'm getting sick. I hope I'm not getting sick. That'd be silly. Yeah, let's stretch a little bit. My neck is real. But I think they announced. I don't think it's if it. I don't know if it was an announcement or not. Maybe it was just a leak. But new Mario Kart. That's officially announced. That could be okay. There are talks about a Zelda remake. Depends which game, I think. But that could be okay if it's an actual remake and not just a HD remaster. I don't think they have any games to remaster anymore. Not like that. Who knows? Is it gonna be Wind Waker again? But yeah, they need an actual Zelda game at least. They need an actual Mario game at least. And they probably need to release the new Pokemon game with that console too. And I don't know if that game is gonna be good anyway. Pokemon has been kind of ass for quite some time. Which is really sad, but you know. What can you do? 3D was a mistake. At least for Pokemon games. Oh man. Fuck my hands. Yeah, let's take a look around here real fast. Okay, that's fine. Okay, maybe instead of actually having a problem, Matt was just a little bit obsessed about the Switch, which is fair. But yeah. Okay, let's move on. Speaking of propaganda, what a change here. I've been seeing once again people being like, "Oh, this is so good. Let's celebrate." Well, I don't think so. Definitely thinks the AI programs to focus on business outcomes, Mem says. From 4 days ago, they're lying to you once again. And it's not that the companies are lying. People claiming a win from this are lying to you. Walt Disney's changing its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs to focus more closely on business outcomes, according to a memo seen by Reuters. Mini-Giant joined several of the largest businesses in the US, responding to the Trump administration's efforts to dismantle DEI initiatives. I think I read this one and it's really funny. Disney's 2024 annual report, published in September, removed mentions of its Reimagine Tomorrow program, allowing space for amplifying underrepresented voices, to feature some of Disney's diversity, equality, and inclusion commitments and actions. Surely that's not whistle wording. The memo from Disney's Chief Human Resources Officer, Sonia Coleman, notes that Reimagine Tomorrow site will be rebranded as My Disney Today. It will focus on how well the company attracts top talent, champions a culture where everyone belongs, creates and supports underserved communities. So literally the same but with other words. Many such cases. It creates entertainment that appeals to a global audience, wrote Coleman. Global audience. And having workforce that reflects the consumers, we serve helps drive our business. Reflects the consumers. Literally the same as they were doing. The criteria to evaluate executive compensation also will change. Coleman wrote to add a factor called talent strategy, which evaluates how well leaders advance Disney's values. It replaces the objective of increasing the diversity and inclusion of executives and managers to reflect the guests and audiences. Talent strategy, one of the things we've seen on that post the other day. Hold on, let me open it up on the side. It was from a couple of weeks ago. That's a lot of articles, holy shit. It's not here, I cannot find it. Oh, what the hell? What the hell? So we get into this now. Hold up. Open this. Silence. Silence. Oh, shut the hell up. So annoying. I don't like LinkedIn. Imagine that. Looking. I'm looking. Oh god, they changed this thing. It's different now. I don't like it. Oh my god, this is so annoying. God, they don't even have the dates anymore. God, this site is so ass. What the hell? Fucking LinkedIn, dude. Activity, show posts, maybe? Is it this one? I don't think so. I had to... Should be a looking article, right? Newsletter? Is it this one? How many articles do they have here? This is wild. I think there's a new article. Do they have it? February 6th. Might be new. Maybe new. Hold up. Yeah, that's a new article. No, it's not the same. It's not the same language. But it could be still whistle wording. Okay, it's fine. This executive compensation is weighted 70% on achieving financial performance targets, 30% against other performance factors, according to its most recent proxy filing. ISIS was the first to report details on the memo. Disney has come under attack from conservatives who object to casting racially diverse and gay characters in its movies. Incorrect! It's about forced diversity. America First Legal, funded by US President Donald Trump's Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Stephen Miller, sent the Disney's board of directors a letter asserting that, these reports to boost diversity and inclusion had harmed the company's stock. True. The company also became embroiled in a bitter feud with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis over a state law limiting customer discussion of sexuality and gender, which critics brand as the "Don't Say Gay" law, which is completely false, because it's any sexuality and gender stuff, not just about gay stuff. So it's don't talk to kids about sex. Imagine. Amazon.com removed the reference to inclusion and diversity in its annual report filed last week. As been told employees in December, my goodness, a December memo that was winding down its programs as part of corporate America's broader retreat from such policies. I just don't believe it. And it's really funny because no, we're dropping this. How? We're doing the same with different words. Oh, that's so cool. What the hell? And it's really funny because people will tell you, they're stopping DEI, they're not. It's so stupid. Fun fact, did you know that you can use a GameStop gift card to buy other gift cards? I think that kind of makes sense, at least. Oh, my bag. But only kinda. I mean, you already have a gift card. Do they even sell anything at GameStop nowadays? Didn't they just have, like, what, Funko Pops? Ew, not good. Okay, what else do they have here? I saw this the other day. I don't know if this is true or not. Let's go into an adventure. This is gonna be just running around different stuff. From Culture Critic on Twitter, this mosaic is the biggest discovery since the Dead Sea Scrolls, the earliest Jesus is God declaration from 230 AD. Just the start of what we found. Once again, was Jesus real? Well, he was a guy, right? Like, he was real. He was an actual prophet, at least. I always find this stuff really interesting. Imagine being able to confirm that a religion is completely true. That's pure insanity when you think about it. This was found beneath an Israeli prison. It changed the entire narrative of early Christianity. The Megiddo Mosaic is inscribed with the following: God Jesus Christ. I cannot read that. I'm just assuming it's correct. Just in here, just in the, like in the top post. Scholars have long claimed Christ's divinity was a literal invention by the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. It appears that early Christians did believe Jesus was the Son of God, right from the very start, but maybe not from the very start, but it was clearly earlier. That's just one of the many bombshell archaeological finds in recent years. So what findings are there to support the historicity? Is that correct? Of the New Testament. It's new, it has to be good. Right? Isn't that how it works? First, there's extra-biblical evidence for the existence of people mentioned in the Gospels. A first-century inscription found in 1961 names the Roman governor who ordered Christ's crucifixion. Pontius Pilatus, prophet of Judea. That is the correct name, right? And in Caiaphas, the high priest who oversaw the rigged trial against Jesus. Rigged trials? Is this 2025? In 1990, the ossuary was found in the Jerusalem burial cave, inscribed with his name. Okay, at least all these people were a thing. Which is quite interesting, to say the least. Herod the Great was widely considered historical, but discovered coins proved he'd called himself king, not governor. As we now know, Judea was a Roman-claimed kingdom, not a province. That makes sense. Small detail, but one that Luke's gospel gets right, when he names Herod king of Judea. Interesting! What about places mentioned in the Gospels? A common claim among scholars was that Nazareth didn't actually exist in Jesus' time. Like in 2009, a small house was found there, dating precisely to the early 1st century. Was it Jesus? John's Gospel just heals a man at the pool of Bethesda. That's not for read, okay? Is this Skyrim? A place in Jerusalem long lost to history. In 2005, it was found exactly where John said it was, and completed with the 5 porticos he described. It's really interesting, this is really accurate, they say. Another claimed miracle site is Jerusalem's Pool of Siloam, where Jesus healed the blind man. Only problem, nobody could ever locate it. And some sort of works uncovered it in 2004, at the end of Hezekiah's tunnel, as ancient sources claimed. Imagine that. That's so interesting. It's remarkable that such places can be found at all. The 70 AD siege of Jerusalem leveled the city, and Hadrian built over what was left of Christian sites, like Christ's tomb, in order to bury them. And yet, new archaeology keeps on finding them. Well, if you keep digging down, you might find something. But people and places are one thing, substantial actual events is another thing entirely. What can be said of events recorded in the Gospels? Thank goodness. He has the legs up. While the Roman practice of crucifixion was never supported by any physical evidence, in 1968, excavation of a 1st century tomb in Jerusalem revealed a seemingly crucified skeleton, nail driven right through the heel and into live wood. Huh. Interesting. Does that make Christ's crucifixion all the more plausible? It might, especially when you consider this. What is the oldest image of Jesus that we know of? Between 100 and 200 AD, Sin's drawing was scrawled on the wall of the Roman barracks in Rome. That makes sense. Not a faithful image of Jesus, but a mockery. Oh, yeah, there's indeed a mockery. Can you draw better than this? I don't think you can. A crucified man with a donkey's head captioned. Alexander worships his god. For Roman disbelievers, worshipping such a man was absurd. Crucifixion was for the lowest of criminals. Archaeology can't prove events really happened, but it can reveal what people believed. Yeah? Well, you can prove stuff if you find books and whatnot, but that's a little different. From the graffitis in Rome to the mosaics in Jerusalem, early Christians, separated by thousands of miles, understood the central claims of the Gospels. Okay, a little bit more tame than expected, but interesting stuff nonetheless. Kind of cool, not gonna lie, kind of cool. And I feel like you're getting closer and closer to Christianity to be revealed as, I don't want to say factual, but at least close to it, perhaps? Which is really interesting. Especially with the stuff we've seen with the Turin Shroud and whatnot. That's kind of cool. Hold up, let me fix my hair here. There we go. Okay, what else do we have here? Let's jump to the modern day for a second. Let's talk about this thing. The same browser is better than Brave, Arc, and Chrome, and I can't recommend anything else. That's interesting, especially when you have Google telling you directly, yeah, we're going to spy on you even harder than before. You're not good. So you may want to move out from some stuff. Using Google as search engine, so who knows. But still, this is not pre-read either, so let's take a loop. A loop? Also a look. Play around with browsers quite a bit, and very few have managed to tear me away from Google Chrome. Still dabble with Flurp, and use it significantly more than other browsers that I've used. The browser is one that I've been using for about a week now consistently. It's the best browser that I've used, and no matter what browser you're using, it's worth giving it a shot. Is it too good to be true? For users who are in love with Arc and continue using it despite its security issues, some browsers are undoubtedly one of the best alternatives to switch to. The browser company has announced that Arc will be maintained with security updates and bug fixes. When it comes to new features, there's nothing else coming. Then continues what Arc started, with focus on usability and privacy. Some browser is also open source compared to the closed source Arc. It's based on the Gecko engine, which powers Firefox. I like Firefox, but it has a lot of problems too, so I don't know. Okay, it's kind of long. Fine. The browser managed to combine the best of Flurp, Vivaldi, Firefox, and Chrome into one beautiful product that works phenomenally well. Well, I've seen people talk about bugs, those were months ago, and it seems to be the case that's pretty stable processor these days. As my main browser, I haven't come across any major issues. Tried from when I first installed it, and it was incredibly laggy. Once I closed and reopened it, it was completely fine. Okay. The features include huge amounts of customization, Create tabs that anchor to the top of your tab bar. Pin tabs that are pushed to the top of your tab list. Sync lens, a feature that works like Little Arc, I don't know what it is. Some mods that add even more features. Split views and workspaces. Okay. Okay, interesting. What about ad blocks though? Can we even mention them? I'm gonna, I don't care. For example, one of the Zen mods installed is Super URL Bar. This feature centers the text in the URL bar, runs the edges, and removes the border by default. I don't like that. You can then tweak it further in settings, so that you can change how it looks, including hiding icons, changing the colors, and more. The developer has been incredibly active on Reddit. Yeah, figures. Adding features that the users request. For example, changing the size of the tab bar was a popular request in an older thread asking for features, and the developer added the option to drag the tab bar to make it wider or smaller. People have also had a success tagging the developer on other posts, but the browser are requesting features. Okay. I don't think that's bad, but Reddit, really? Magnitude quality? Kind of silly if you ask me. In terms of other features, there are web panels which can be quickly accessed with a hotkey and the ability to copy the current URL with regular or markdown format with a hotkey too. I think that's really important. I don't know about you, but I send a lot of links to people, so being able to quickly copy the URL without needing to click the top URL bar actually saves me quite a bit of time. Doesn't take that long, to be fair, but sure. I guess it's not a big deal. That is a big deal. Stop it. Leave me alone. Paintball Fry? Yeah, baby, that's me. That's me. Be gone. I don't like you. I just don't like you, okay? Even if searching for articles that I write, it saves time because I can use my hotkeys to switch between my tabs, copy URLs, and more. There are other things too, like pressing the new tab button brings up an overlay. You can type in to change your current page until you hit enter. I guess they can be useful. The browser is all about making the experience seamless and easy, and it's scratching an itch for me in a way that no other browser really has. I love Slurp, but something about Zen browser has been incredible to use. Plus, its privacy options are fantastic. The browser itself collects no data, and all of the Mozilla tracking can be disabled. That's good. That's actually really good. Unlock social media trackers, fingerprinters, and more, and you can install extensions like geoblocking on top of that. Yeah, it's based on the same thing as Firefox, so they could have the same store for extensions. Interesting, interesting. You're buying me a little bit. The only major downside that I've come across is that some browsers doesn't support playing their unprotected content. The developer is very open about this, as it requires a company of a significant size and a 2000 USD fee. The browser is only developed by one person, and the cost is described as being financially unreasonable in its FAQ. Yeah, I think it's fair. You might be able to fix it with extensions, perhaps, but I don't know. Then one other major upside to using some browser, and as I alluded to already, is that it moves away from the Chromium web rendering monopoly using Mozilla's Gecko. And not necessarily wrong. Problem with Chromium and Brave. Yeah, I know it's not the best, but if they make a proper fork, they could make their own thing. Chromium is a fantastic browsing engine that forms the basis of many browsers out there, including Arc, but also Brave, Edge, and Opera. Edge? Really? I didn't know that. With that said, as browsers continue to rely on Chromium as their rendering engine, that unwillingly hands control over to Google when it comes to the open internet. If it's open source, the reason Chromium works so well is that websites need to be optimized for it due to Google's near monopoly in rendering technology. Yeah, I think I know what this guy's about to say here. And if it's what I think it is, I'm going to agree, probably. That's why other browsers using other rendering tech like Zen browser using Gecko are important. It increases the market share of other rendering engines and takes far away from Chromium, in the sense that websites have to be built to support multiple engines, rather than just the one owned by Google. Even back then, you had to optimize for at least, at the very least, Internet Explorer / Edge, Chrome, and Firefox. If you were a little bit more fancy, what was the other one? Safari? But yeah, at least the big three, as they say. But you certainly have a privacy-focused Chromium browser. The very nature of what Chromium is arguably goes against the ideals that would make a user want to use a privacy-focused browser in the first place. Yeah, that's totally wrong. When it comes to the lines of Brave specifically, that browser gets a lot of praise despite the fact that it doesn't actually do much special. Is this actual grammar? It doesn't sound normal to me. If ignoring the Web3 things that are built on top of it, or affiliate code placing, affiliate codes are literally made to track user data and traffic sources, or the myriad of settings that users have to wade through, it's still Chromium under the surface. Isn't Brave directly contributes to Google's stronghold over web rendering? Not as much as Chrome, at least. But yeah, I get it. Surprisingly, most people gloss over all of that, thinking about it as if it's the best browser out there. It's not that bad, to be fair, it's better than Chrome, that's why people think it's very good. It's just another Chromium-based browser at best, and a browser that really goes against its privacy premises at worst. You can achieve most of what Brave does with regular extensions, without any of the added mess. Not anymore, not with Chromium at least. Even when it comes to claims of speed, which Brave claims to be the fastest browser, of them are similar enough that you realistically won't notice the difference. Fair, it has some memory issues too, I've found. Same browser is my new favorite browser. I think it's fine. I wanted to try it, I wanted to use it, but this could be interesting. Same browser is my new favorite browser. It's open source, beautiful, and extensively modifiable. It bucks the trend of privacy-focused browsers still being built in Chromium, which is a major plus, and it's clear that the developer behind the project actually cares about the users. After all, it is just the hobbyist project being maintained by basically just one person. If you're looking for a new browser and aren't sure where to start, give something a try. Interesting. I will make a note of this. Might try it at some point. Not anytime soon, I don't think, but I think it's an interesting choice. Take a sip here. I need to get used to it, of course, but not bad. The thing is, because that's also a problem. Are you going to use a different search engine, or it's just Google? If it's just Google, Chrome still prevails. The monopoly is still there, and I know it's not the same as just having all of the browser being from Chrome, but still. Oh man. Hey, I think that's good. Alternatives are always good. What do you have here? Oh yeah, I found that the other day. I don't know if this is gonna be fair or not, but I've talked about this many times before, so I think it makes sense. Back to society. Gen Z are overhaving the work ethic questions. Most women don't know what it's like to work 40 plus hours a week and still not be able to afford the house. You know what? That's not wrong. That is not wrong. It's no secret that Gen Z often gets labeled as lazy, and the Gen Z CEO defending working from bed. So TikTok trends like quiet quitting and lazy girl jobs. This generation has gained a reputation for doing the bare minimum at work. We're not saying everyone, but surely you have some people. The elders have taken notice. Most famously is star Whoopi Goldberg, who scolded young people for not wanting to faster behind like her generation did. Had the mighty have fallen, not because of this passing comment, but yeah, Whoop is kind of a weird one nowadays, sadly. He was a really fun actress, so it's painful. So when 54-year-old comedian Rick Mercer joined the pile-on by mocking younger workers, when Gen Zer had enough and called out the hypocrisy of all generations. After Mercer made fun of young people for complaining about the 40-hour work week, 27-year-old Ravi Scott clapped back on TikTok, pointing out that baby boomers don't understand what it's like to work hard today and get nothing in return. His response has racked up over 2 million views. Okay. 54 is not baby boom, it's Gen X. So, opinion discarded. I want to agree with you guys. I know economy is fucked. But I guess you don't even understand the bare minimum here. We need to stop expecting the same people who bought a 4-bedroom house in a brand new Cadillac of a 30,000 a year salary to understand what it's like working 40 plus hours a week with a master's degree and still not being able to afford a 400 square foot studio in bumfuck Iowa. Scott Front in the known viral video. He's not wrong. To be fair, he's not wrong. Shit is so expensive nowadays. And yeah, your salary is not really going up. And the economy is still better in the US than it's here. So, yeah, I know. Not good. Gen versus millennial work ethic. Oh, baby. Gen Z and millennials are often lumped together as the young ones at work. Millennials are well into their 30s and 40s and have built some credibility. In fact, a poll from Recent Genius found that millennials are the most in-demand job candidates, with 45% of hiring managers prioritizing them. Having Gen Z managers does have risen through the ranks, but their appeals can be difficult to work with, but Gen Z's frustration with work runs deeper than a lack of discipline or drive. I understand why people want to hire millennials at this point. They have some experience and they are not completely useless. Probably you will want to hire Gen X because they probably have the highest skills in general, but they're getting old and they're retiring already. The thing is, I've seen so many young people being completely useless at work. It's not even funny. I have to mention this once again. A friend of mine, which works in tech, he does like IT stuff. I don't know why, but he does IT stuff. I guess he likes it. Had to train some young people, and they were completely useless. To the point of, okay, you're not able to read simple coding here, just injecting the shit that AI is telling you, and not only you're complaining about not being able to connect to the server, you don't even understand that you're not connected to it by cable. How many times have we seen that post about young people working at some sort of office, not even understanding what the zip is? I know not every Zoomer is like this, but this didn't happen before. It's really sad when you have younger people which should know a lot about tech, knowing not even half of what my mother knows, and she's not really good with tech. So, yeah, that's a big problem. Why Gen Z is angry? Scott argues that Gen Z is the so-called entitlement isn't about laziness. It's about doing everything they were told to do and still coming up empty-handed. Yeah? Join the queue. At the same time, I had to say this. Just following orders is not enough. You need more. More than that. And I think people are focusing too much into the 40 plus hours a week here, and I have to say, sure, are you actually being productive? I hate to be that guy, because they might actually be productive, but if what you do in a 40 plus hour week I can do in 15 hours, they're paying you too much. That's a problem. That is the problem, and I'm not saying they're not, but it is a fair argument, because we don't know. What's really shitty is we held up our end of the bargain. Scott said, we're still in school, we went to college, we've been working since we were 15 or 16. Doing everything you all told us to do. And for what? Slowly living with our parents in our late 20s? It's not wrong. Let's are the most dedicated generation in history. They only mean a college, so that is not wrong. Gen Z following close behind. Their financial prospects are significantly worse than those of Chinese graduates. You need to understand supply and demand. That's the main issue. If you want to work in tech because they tell you it's good money, but then you have a 400% increase in people wanting to work in tech, yeah, salaries are going to completely crash. So you need to be smart about it. You know who are working a lot nowadays? Electricians, plumbers, and those are necessary jobs. You were dubbed, okay? They dubbed you when they told you go to college. You don't need to. You spent a lot of money on that for what? Also, what did you study in college really? We all know that some degrees are literally trash. The market's real right now. Roughly 20% of job seekers have been searching for 10 to 12 months without success, according to a recent report. Now let me talk about immigration, okay? Because I could. And you have a lot of people wanting to work in tech, and yet they keep hiring people from outside, unless in the USA. And you know why? Is it because they're better? No, it's because they're cheaper. It's always about being cheaper, come on, it's so obvious. And you might disagree with that, but you know I'm not wrong. It's really messed up. It is really messed up. There's a little bit of everything here. And make no mistake about it, millions are not doing fantastic either, okay? She's just fucked in general. But you cannot complain about the economy. It's not allowed. Shit sucked ass here. Anyway, what else do we have? Do you want to the last one? We could, let me take a look. I think we can do one more. Let's talk once again about cats. That's the finish for today. Any positive note, I guess. Star reveals a simple trick to communicate with your cat. You can try to tell them no, it's not going to work. They don't care about that. Cats have a reputation for aloofness and fluffiness. If you and your feline friend are bonding, but you're just not speaking the language. Never fear, research from 2020 has shown that it's not so difficult. Just need to smile at them more, not the human way. Burn your teeth, but the cat way, by narrowing your eyes and blinking slowly. That makes sense. Also, meow at them. It also works. Sometimes, at least. You're talking the language. By observing cat-human interactions, scientists confirm that this expression makes cats, both familiar and strange, approach and be more receptive to humans. I will remember that. I will catnap something. As someone who has both studied animal behavior and is a cat owner, it's great to be able to show that cats and humans can communicate in this way. Karen McCamb, a University of Sussex psychologist, saying a 2020 statement. That's so nice. Look at this cat. Something that many cat owners had already suspected, so it's exciting to have found evidence for it. If you've spent any time around cats, you've probably seen their partially closed eyes. I don't know what it said there. Facial expressions. Combined with slow blinking. It's normal to have human eyes narrow when smiling. Initially occurs when the body's relaxed and content. The expression is interpreted as a kind of a cat smile. Anecdotal evidence from cat owners has seen that humans can copy this expression to communicate to cats that we are friendly and open to interaction. Also, apparently, cats see us as literal big cats. Really big and stupid cats. So, a team of psychologists designed experiments to determine whether cats behave differently towards slow blinking humans. In the first experiment, owners only blinked at 21 cats from 14 different households. As the cat was settled and comfy in one spot in their home environment, the owners were instructed to sit about 1 meter away, slow blink when the cat was looking at them. Cameras recorded both the owners and the cat's faces, and the results were compared to how cats blink with no human interaction. The results showed that cats are more likely to slow blink under humans after the humans have a slow blink at them, compared to the no interaction condition. Okay, that's interesting. The second experiment included 24 cats from 8 different households. Average of 3 cats per house, okay. Okay, women. This time it wasn't the owners doing the blinking, but the researchers. They had no prior contact with the cats. For control, cats were recorded responding to no blink condition, which humans stare at the cats without blinking their eyes. They don't like when you stare at them. They can get really nervous. The researchers performed the same slow blink process as the first experiment, adding an extended hand toward the cat. They found that not only were the cats more likely to blink back, they were also more likely to approach the human's hand after the human blinked. Okay, that's interesting. The study is the first to experimentally investigate the role of slow blinking in cat-human communication, McCam said. Fuck you looking at, bitch! It is something you can try yourself with your own cat at home or with cats you meet in the street. It's a great way of enhancing the bond you have with the cats. Turn narrowing your eyes at them as you would in a relaxed smile, followed by closing your eyes for a couple of seconds. You'll find they respond in the same way themselves, and you can start a sort of conversation. This cat looks really mad. I don't think it is, but it looks really mad. Cats may be much more enthusiastically demonstrative than cats. This news isn't a surprise for cat lovers. Research in recent years has shown that our feline friends are much more in tune with their human housemates than previously supposed, and that comparing them to dogs is a disservice. They're really different, and it really shows. Cats, for example, respond in kind to humans who are receptive to them. Since you find cats standoffish, that may be a problem with you, not the kitty. Maybe. Might after all. Likewise, cats echo the personality traits of the humans they live with. Mammals, it's always gonna happen. It's maybe related to why cats tend to pick up when their humans are sad. They also can recognize their names, although they choose to ignore them a lot of the time. Yeah, cats, they're little gremlins. And their bonds with their humans are supposedly deep. That is true. I've seen some stuff, and it's actually pretty wild. With my sister, she has cats. She had cats for a long time now, and yeah, especially the older ones were. They had a really deep bond. It's difficult to know why cats slow blink at humans this way. It's being interpreted as means of seemingly benign intentions. These cats are thought to interpret broken, staring, and threatening. Yes, that's what we was mentioning before. It's also possible that cats develop the expressions since humans respond positively to it. With domesticated animals, it's often impossible to tell. Yeah, I guess so. I don't think it's a learned behavior though. Cats are still kind of wild. Anyway, it does seem to help forge a report. And that's a good thing to know. Learning how to improve our relationships with these nomadic animals could also be a way to improve their emotional health. Not just in the home environment, but across a range of potentially stressful situations. Understanding positive ways in which cats and humans interact can enhance public understanding of cats, improve feline welfare, and tell us more about the sociocognitive abilities of this understudied species, said psychologist Desmond Humphrey of the University of Sussex. Such a funny name. Findings could potentially be used to assess the welfare of cats in a variety of settings, including veterinary practices and shelters. A really good point. They often go just to jab them with they call that again? It's only anesthesia, but you know, relaxing products. Not maybe the service to them. You can try it right now, aren't you? Well, I don't have a cat. But I'm going to remember this. I will try this at some point. After all, it's not uncommon to see cats around the neighborhood and whatnot. They're not wild or anything, but still, you know. Sometimes you just want to touch them, and what do you say? They're nice. There are some nice cats around. Okay. I think that's gonna be everything for me today. We had some passionate discussion, I feel. I'm real tired of this it's just games kind of bullshit. Ah, it's just games, it's just anime, you just have to take it. No, fuck you. It can and should be good. So, why not? Why not complain when shit sucks ass? Ah, man. So, plan for next week. Ocarina of Time Monday. I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming on Wednesday. I might want to take that to finish some stuff I'm working on, or try to get closer to finish it. We'll see. And of course Thursday, I'll be playing at least one day of Super Pokemon EV8. Still need to grind. I didn't have time for that. I should be able to between today and tomorrow, just a little bit. Shouldn't be that difficult, at least. But yeah, that's the idea. And obviously, Saturday will be reading more shit that sucks ass here. Because everything is terrible, and I hate it in here. So, anyway, thank you for coming. I hope you had some fun. And we'll see you all on Monday with some more Ocarina of Time. I have to go to Fikaruku as well, I think. So, until then, you know the rules. Be chill and take care.